All right, we've got a brand new grant to tell you about. It's our largest skip grant ever. I'm so happy to be here live to share this news with you. It's our $15,000 grant. I'm going to talk about the grant, which is now live on the Skip dashboard and Skip app. By the way, I'd love to hear where you're watching from today. And also later on, I'd love to hear, are you using the Skip website or the Skip app? But I'll come back to that. It's the Skip $15,000 entrepreneur grant. Here it is right here. The link is in the description, or you can find it right at the top of the recommended grants. Okay, I'm going to tell you what this is, when it's due, why we keep upping the prize pool. You know, yesterday was a deadline for a $10,000 grant. And we announced the winner for a $10,000 grant. We basically had two 10K grants in March. I did a YouTube poll asking what types of grants do you want to see this month? A lot of folks, the majority, asked for a larger grant. Thanks to all of you here. This is an exclusive for our YouTube community. You are getting this grant announcement first before anyone else. We haven't posted about this. This is fresh. So just to always want to say thank you to everyone who joins in on YouTube, whether you're new or you've been watching for years. We've been doing these funding related videos for over 4 years now. Okay. And also like this video so other entrepreneurs see this. We're helping around 1 million entrepreneurs now. That means there's still around 32, 33 million entrepreneurs in the US that could use Skip, that could certainly use free money. In fact, you could say that for all 330 plus million people in the US. But I'm going to talk about the 15K grant and answer some questions because all of you are here live. I'll share a few tips. You know, all you have to do is click I'm interested here. And then you'll see the application questions. Okay. And the good news is there's really only one new question to complete, but I am going to give you a few tips. Shout outs to Miami, California, Seattle, Marietta, Arizona. And Nella says, please repeat the grant link. It is in the description of this video. Or you just go to helloskip.com, log in, you'll be redirected to your dashboard. It is literally right here. By the way, next to a ton of other grants, including the Verizon 10K grant, it's in select cities. Highly recommend applying for this. Even if you aren't in these 4 cities, go apply for the Verizon 10K grants. These jobber grants are new. I mean, like I always say, just scroll down to the fundings due soon. There are 9 fundings that are due in the next 2 weeks. Okay. More shout outs here to Rochester. I was just up there. And Shannon, are you going to be watching the eclipse on Monday? Have you gotten merch from Wegmans yet? Indianapolis, Massachusetts, and more. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Yesterday was the deadline for our 10K Perseverance grant. Want to thank everyone who's applied for that. We'll announce that winner in 2 weeks. You can always see those under saved fundings. So if I go to saved fundings here, this one due yesterday, I hope you all were able to apply. Now, you know, we've been giving out grants for 4 years. Most of the time it had been $1,000 grants, maybe 500, maybe 2,000. Late last year, we started upping it, 5K, 10K. Now it's 15K. Our goal is to bring awareness to the grants that are out there. So we don't have the deep pockets yet. It's folks like Verizon, Amex, Barclays, Amazon, even Google does grants. Obviously, and UPS, as you see on the screen right here. You name it. There are lots of for-profit companies, nonprofit companies giving out grants. So that's our first goal, to raise awareness. The second goal is to, have many of you win grants. So, you know, we picked we picked 5 winners a week ago for our 1K grants and our $200 grants. So anyway, we always want to give out grants. I think it's really inspiring. Even if you don't win the 15K, but you win a smaller grant, it's still inspiring. At least that's what I've heard, but you tell me in the comments. Let's see here. Going to scan that. How do you choose the winner? Okay, great. Cherry, great to ask. Great question. And Shannon, good to hear you'll be watching the eclipse. Absolutely. Very exciting for Rochester, expecting a lot of people. And for those who say I never win a grant, pay attention, because this this grant in particular looks at your persistence. I'm going to explain what that means in a minute, but the fact that all of you are here on YouTube, whether for the first time or for the 100th time, it means that you care about funding, you care about information, and that plays a part in this application. The last 3 grant winners, the 10K grant winner from December, the big grant winners, they were based in Rochester, Minnesota, not Chicago. The other Rochester, the Children's Exchange. They're the first 10K winner in December. Then we had Von Tell. They were the 10K kickoff winner. They're based in Brooklyn. And announced yesterday, Nourish and Bloom. They are based in Fayetteville, Georgia. And they were the AI Innovation, the 10K AI Innovation Grant winner. We've got a 10K Perseverance Grant winner. We've got our April $1,000 grants. All of those are available now. So I just want to give you the backstory and ask who's going to be next, who's going to be the first Skip 15K winner. So yeah, you can see the April Skip grants here. That's $1,000, giving out a handful of them. So go enter those. Now for this grant here, let me read the details. It's open to all US-based entrepreneurs. You decide whether or not you want to share this. Many of you do, many of you don't. But I think what goes around comes around. I'm a big believer in telling others about opportunities. Think about how you first heard about Skip. Who told you about Skip? Maybe you just found it on YouTube here, us on YouTube. You should demonstrate your commitment to funding. So again, the fact that you are here on YouTube, that plays a part in it. You care about funding. You show up. The third part, apply by April 24th. So this is a tight deadline, less than 3 weeks. Then we're going to be doing more grants. So some of the insights here on how we are grading this, because insights, by the way, you can only see if you're a member sometimes. So I highly recommend, I think nearly all of you watching are Plus, or you've tried Plus, if you're able to. Okay, it's going to be scored in the following 4 criteria, and I'll get to the questions in a second. 25% is your entrepreneurship story. Details about your business, your offerings, etc. 25% is your impact on your community. Who your customers are and how you serve them. That's important. 25% is demonstrated need. What will you use the funding for? The most common and important question there is. You need to have a articulate answer. And by the way, I got something to say about that in a second. 25% is your commitment to funding. What sources of funding have you applied for, etc. So what do you do to show commitment in funding? Have you applied for other grants? Have they been on Skip or other platforms? Have you applied for loans? If so, how? So we want to hear that story. We do know, I heard the story so many times during EIDL days. You spent days and days and days going after a funding. So we want to reward people who show commitment to funding. The other mantra I always say is, don't give up. Just because you don't win this grant, I'll say it again, there's money out there. Everyone that I congratulate as a winner, it's usually their first time winning a grant. Stick with it. And there's so much you can control here, okay? let me go back to the application questions. You can write these well and get ahead of 95% of folks. So if we have 20,000 people apply, I guarantee you can get within the top 500 or 1,000 just by writing well. We look at all of the applications. There's a wide distribution of quality. So clearly, you can control how well you write these answers. All right. Yeah. And as Faith says, congrats to all the last winners. Absolutely. And Faith, for your commitment too, that's a great, just to pick on one person here in the comments, is like, you are always committed. You show your commitment to funding and grants. Okay. The 4 questions are: what does your business do? How do you help customers? How would you use the grant money? And what have you done so far to seek funding for your business? So they correlate with those 4 judging criteria. And I hope you all go apply. Get started today. I'm going to be doing weekly videos to give more tips. You can draft today, use the AI. If you know someone in your entrepreneur business community, have them take a look, or have us take a look. You can always book a one-on-one call. But I think one of the things I want to emphasize this go around is, if just by having one extra person look over your answers, it will elevate what you write, not only for this grant, but for all our future SCIP grants and for other grants as well. So keep that in mind for this go around. Two things to leave you with: one, your commitment to funding. If you're not using the SCIP app, it's not a requirement, of course, but it's like a good way to search for funding and then put that down here to show that you're committed. Number 2, consider a peer, asking a colleague, a peer, a member of the SCIP team, a SCIP expert, to review your answers ahead of time. I guarantee you it will make a big difference. Again, not just for this grant, for the grants we do, but for all funding, how you articulate. Because one of the things we're seeing a lot of is, it's not just enough to have AI spit out an answer. You may know this, but that'll take you 80% of the way there. Really important, that last 20%, where you go through and cut. It's usually cutting words because it may be AI repeated, or it said superlative that's not necessary. You can get better with AI prompts here on SCIP. We're working on that too, but that's important. So let's see. Any questions, comments here related to grants or how you're doing this week? But here it is again, the SCIP 15K Entrepreneur Grant, open to all entrepreneurs. And Leisha puts it very well here: as hard as it can be, I am not giving up. Be encouraged, everyone. Keep pressing towards your dreams, says Minister of Dance. And the Pink Tub LLC, I'm going to apply today. I have not won a grant yet, and I'm not giving up. Congrats to all the previous winners. Absolutely. To everyone who's won, and to your future selves, early congrats. Thinking positive thoughts for all of you. Until then, again, any questions on this, leave in the comments. We'll be doing more videos about this in the coming days. But as always, I appreciate all of you who've shared this video and told others about SCIP. It means a lot. And who knows, next month, maybe 20K, maybe 5K grants. We take seriously what you ask for. So always want to hear what you, to the extent we can keep increasing the pot of money, we're going to do it. All right, everyone. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you soon.